Good morning. Let's do the pre-market for 5/1/2019. Um, Looking at the weekly chart here, we have basically broken out of the all-time high on the ES. Uh, Pretty strong bar already. We had a rejection off of the bottom of this volume node yesterday with a complete blast off. Upside target on the weekly is 3027 for me. Not a lot to say here. There just doesn't seem to be any pullback in the market. On the daily, you can see the lower extreme and higher extreme. We just basically keep on moving this every day. The channel has even gotten steeper than what I showed yesterday. I mean, we're at the very top of what would be a trend line going across the top here if you drew it in. So, if you're a trend line trader, maybe you look for a pause or a pullback to the other side of the trend line at this point to keep on trading in the range. ATR actually ticked up a little bit. Volume was pretty good yesterday. So no harm, no foul, right? Just gonna keep on trading. You can see we're over the tops of the dailies. Really, the kind of this 2917 level would be, kind of the low area if there was a big massive sell-off. That's even beyond the extreme level, but it matches up pretty good over here. The lower extreme right here, goes across these tops, and it matches up pretty good with the last couple candles right there. So I'm not really expecting a sell-off, but who knows. On the 60-minute, take a look here. We can see that from yesterday, the big volume notes down here, 2945. This is, probably your one of your good long locations. If it comes back, this would be the kind of the spot to try and join everybody else for a long position. And then your next level down here is the 2940, kind of 2938 level. I like the 38 level better than the 40 level, to be honest with you. And people would definitely see this 35 level because of all of this price action over here to the left. So definitely see that as a great buying place, and that's also the range extreme. So that would be a big sell-off for this market to move back to. So odds are pretty much against that. So kind of look up here in this particular area between the 43 and the 46 area for a long trade. Of course, there's just nothing above, so there's no actual resistance above. On the intraday, you can see that the PPT was still active in the aftermarket. I don't know if this is some kind of indication that the Fed news will not be that strong, that they want to get it even up higher over this level, but they've pretty much broken, this structure level right here overnight and are holding it up above this. So everything's still very positive. It's all bullish structure, right? So when you're trading back and they're selling off basically the previous volume node, they're only testing the kind of the top of it and it taking off again. That's a good indication of the strength of the market when basically your market rallies off the top of the node and doesn't test the bottom of the node. So try and think about that when you're trying to trade volume nodes or whatever. Is that, the first test is across the top, and if you get a real weak bounce, it usually goes down and tests the bottom of the volume node, right? And that's what we're looking at over here. We basically traded into the top of the volume node, and here's the bottom of the volume node. Trying to see if I can find there's just not a lot of mature volume nodes here to kind of show you on this particular chart. But this 2951 is kind of the top, but this 2946 area we kind of already talked about. You can see basically all this volume right here generated it. So I would expect maybe if it traded back down here, hit the top and bounce, the low point would probably be the bottom, the 2943 area. Delta, they're really not adding a whole lot to the delta, and it's just kind of drifting sideways on the delta. So not a lot of people adding to positions this morning, which could be understandable because of the news from the Fed and stuff like that. So we're up into air at this point. And so, basically we're looking at the ranges and making levels above based off of 100% range extension. So just kind of keep that in mind on how we determine when we're off into air, how to determine, where the next resistance zone is going to be. The algos trade on math, so they can see what the range extensions are, and that's what they are basically doing the whole way through the market. I am not sure if there's anything else to really describe to you this morning. Great rally yesterday, very strong. So things are still going to be very bullish, but the amount of contracts that they've been adding lately, I wouldn't have a problem with them, selling off some of those contracts in order to take some risk off the table. So keep that in mind, that you could see people take some risk off the table and get a little bit of selling back into some of these nodes. But as long as they keep on breaking structure to the upside, the market's going to continue to be very bullish looking. Good luck on your trading.